and I'm going to join her on stage. And I would just encourage you to allow God to bring you into a time of worship right now. It's different, but different is okay. And just think about some of the words as we sing them and as you hear some of the instruction about how this song really came to be. And I hope that this is a powerful time of worship for you now.
Oh come, Emmanuel.
This song finds its origins in the 7th century. It was originally written in Latin, and it was called Veni, Veni, Emmanuel. And it was part of a collection of what's called monastic poems that were read each year by monks in monasteries in preparation for the Christmas season. In Advent season, just like we're in right now, this song would have been sung in a different form. This poem would have been read, "O come, Emmanuel." But the word, the idea of Emmanuel, it's something that goes back much, much farther than the 7th century. We find the original word Emmanuel in the Bible way back in 900 BC. And this is where we first learn that idea of Emmanuel.
Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here until the Son of God appear.
Israel was not a united kingdom. There was a king of the northern kingdom that was called Israel. There was a king of Aramea, which we call Syria. It bordered this area. There was a king of the southern kingdom of Israel. It was called Judah. And all of these kingdoms were at war with themselves. They had been for ages. There was a constant battle for power and for control. During one of these major battles, Judah was under attack. The nation, the kingdom of Judah, was under siege, and the king was in great distress. So God called the prophet Isaiah, and he said, "Go to the king and tell him, these kingdoms will not defeat the kingdom of Judah. Not today. It may feel like you're in lonely exile here, but you are not outside of God's protection. You are not outside of God's love, because Emmanuel, God is with you. And because God is with us, we can't help but to rejoice."
Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
In the book of Isaiah, in chapter 7, verse 14, we're told of this great gift that God is planning to give to his people. It says, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel." Emmanuel means God with us. This is written 900 years before Jesus entered the picture as a baby that first Christmas. God is telling us through Isaiah that he's planning to send his son to his people, that this version of God, this person of God that he is sending, he will be one with us. He will be like us. He will be with us, and his name will be Emmanuel. And because God is with us, the world instantly becomes a different place, a better place, a brighter place.
Oh, come thou day spring, come and cheer our spirits by thine advent here. Disperse the gloomy clouds of night, and death's dark shadows put to flight.
O O come thou day spring. That's not language that we use commonly. O come thou day spring means that there's a dawning of the new day, when light springs up new out of the darkness. This is a song that we sing in a somber tone, but this is a song of celebration, a song that we sing because that light has shined into the darkness and we cheer. The dark clouds can be rolled back, and even the shadow of death has to flee because the Messiah, Christ, has been born. There are songs that we sing when we sing them in church where certain lines are sung, certain words are said, and we can't help but celebrate with cheers, with clapping, with a yes and an amen. This is one of those songs. This is one of those lines, even though it may not feel like it. This song sounds somber, but this is a song of celebration. It's a victory song that darkness is gone and the light has broken through.
O come thou wisdom from on high.
But even though that this is a song of victory, that it's a song of celebration, it's not the completion of the celebration. It's the beginning of the celebration. God's done everything that he needs to have done at this point to have claimed victory. But you and I enter the equation at different times. We come into the picture along with everyone in human history at different times, and we still have a lot of life left to live. God's done what he needs to do, but we need God's guidance. We need his knowledge to go before us, to know that God is here, that God is with us. We need more than the wisdom that we can find in this earth. We need godly wisdom. We need godly guidance to ensure that we end up on the right path as we live our lives here with God in our hearts.
O come thou wisdom from on high, and order all things far and nigh. To us the path of knowledge show, and to cause us in her ways to go.
We need godly wisdom. We need God's guidance because we're navigating our lives in a world that is deeply marred and wounded and marked and scarred by sin. We need godly wisdom to help us help others be free from that sin. We want people to be able to experience God's presence for themselves. We want to see them on this path towards experiencing Emmanuel, God with us, God with them in their lives every moment of every day, just like we get to experience God with us, God's presence in our lives. We want them to be able to experience the peace that comes from a life where God is with us in our hearts, in our minds, and carried out in the things that we do.
O come desire of nations bind, all peoples in one heart and mind. Bid envy, strife, and quarrel cease, and to fill the whole earth with heaven's peace.
We long for that peace, but apart from Jesus, we're never going to find it. It doesn't matter how hard we look. It doesn't matter where we look. It's not going to be there. We long for a time where people are free of strife and envy and quarrels. The disease and sickness is gone away, and we put our hope in God, a God that would bring us his peace, the peace of heaven, the peace that passes all understanding, the peace that only exists in the presence of God. That's what makes this a song of celebration. That's the reason that we sing this song. That's what we celebrate when we take time to think about what the birth of Jesus means for us and for humanity. Never-ending peace together with God, God with us. And that's why we rejoice. That's why we sing these words, rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel. God is with us. God has come to Israel, and he's come to us. And we rejoice that God is with us.
Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel.
God, we rejoice. We rejoice that you're with us now in this place. That the promise of Emmanuel was not a promise meant for a certain person in a certain place. Emmanuel, God with us, was a promise to us that you would be with us here. God, your presence comes with peace. Your presence comes with the binding of sin. Your presence comes with comfort and healing for the brokenhearted. Your presence is the most beautiful place that we could be. God, I pray this Christmas we would truly understand this idea of Emmanuel, God with us, that because of your Son, Jesus Christ, entering into this world as a baby some 2,000 years ago, you are with us then and now. You are with us still. You're with us in the future, and you want to be with us for eternity. God, may we be people who bring you into their lives. In your name, amen. Amen.